Welcome back to this special Shavuot episode of Holy Land Uncovered. I'm so pleased to be joined by Barbara Sofer, the head of PR for the Hadassah, the Women's Zionist Organization of America, working with the Hadassah Hospital and all kinds of beautiful causes. But today we're talking about Ruth, our power woman, matriarchal, biblical figure that we all love so much.
Well, it's a pleasure to be here, and we're not too far away from Bethlehem, where a lot of the action actually took place. And we know that the story of Ruth is placed on the holiday in which we celebrate the getting of the Torah. The Torah is a book of rules, mostly. So what do we need this fascinating story of a woman who comes in from Moab? But we do, because the story begins with a family not far away in Bethlehem, an aristocratic family, a family that comes from Nachshon, the first Jew to cross the sea, a brave family, so to speak. And the father's name is Elimelech. He wants to be king, so the name says. He feels aristocratic, his wife Naomi, and their two sons. And they're very rich, but there's a famine in the town. And instead of staying, they go to Moab, which is today's modern Jordan, not that far away either, where there is no famine, to get away from people begging. And that's considered a terrible sin, that they're not there. These are many of them, their relatives who they're not willing to help. So they go to Jordan, they go to Moab, and Moab is known for being people who are mean and stingy and also promiscuous. We have many stories about Moab, and there they go, and the first thing that happens is that their sons marry local women, and here we meet our heroine, Ruth. Ruth is by tradition a daughter of the king, and she and her sister Orpah, and you know today's Oprah Winfrey is named after with the letters reversed a bit, after Orpah. And we don't know much. The mother of the family's name is Naomi. We don't hear about her except that she goes along with them. And in a short time, the father dies, and the two sons, Machlon and Chilion, die, and we have left three widows. Naomi decides to come back to her hometown of Bethlehem, and the two daughters-in-law want to go with her. Ruth, in particular, hangs on to her. She sticks to her.
Please, like, don't leave me.
Right? We have that word. It's like the same word we use for glue. That she clings to her, and Naomi really doesn't want them. First of all, she's a little embarrassed with these women, and she's coming back. Here she was the great Naomi, and now she says, I'm empty. And when she gets back to town, she says, don't call me Naomi, which means nice and pleasant. Call me Mara. Call me bitter. She's bitter, and three times she pushes them away. Orpah kisses her and goes back to her mother's house. That's what we have. But Ruth insists on going with her, and she says, what do I have, another baby for you? What do you want to come with this old lady for? And we use this as a special affirmation of her becoming a Jew. This is the holiday in which we also mark the positive converts to Judaism, and most of those are women. You know, way percentage of women become converts. So what's the difference with Ruth? Ruth not only has seen something in Naomi that she loves, and we don't know exactly what that is, but she's willing to go with this old woman, to leave her father, her mother's a queen, and to go into the fields and to search for food like all the poor people of town. So they arrive. Naomi doesn't use her connections. Ruth goes out into the fields. Ruth, and she's something special about her. When she reaches to gather in the barley, she doesn't bend over in an immodest way. She supposedly sits and picks it up that way. And whose field does she happen to be in? The field of a kinsman named Boaz. Boaz says, whose woman is that? And they say, that's the Moabite woman who came back with Naomi. It's a nasty way to sing, that's that Moabite woman. But in the end of the story, we know that we already can guess that it's going to be that Ruth, and Ruth doesn't know this, that Ruth and Boaz are going to get together. But here we see the reviving of Naomi, that Naomi comes back. She blesses her kinsman. We see the comeback of, and the loving care that Ruth has kind of revives all of Bethlehem. Now, Bethlehem, don't forget, means the town of bread. So they left in a famine. They come back, they're hungry, and they have to look for barley. And then eventually Ruth is able to make the kind of connection. They come up with a plan. Ruth goes into, Naomi puts out a plan. She needs to get perfumed and dressed up. And when they go to meet Boaz in the threshing floor, except that Ruth changes the plan a bit.
Barbara, thank you so much for sharing all of these wonderful insights, so much that I didn't even know, that you just, you have to really know what you're talking about to be able to go, beneath the lines. But it's very interesting, and I look forward to delving even deeper into Ruth, because she is just so fascinating and beloved by so many.
Well, I look forward to it too. We got a big book here.
Yes, we do. And I'm gonna cling to
I'm gonna cling to you. It's nice to be able to cling these days after a year and a half of social distancing.
Oh.
Yes. Thank God.